Hey y'all, what's up? JamiThatsMe here. Welcome back to the channel, honey, and welcome back to another quick chat. Now, today on the quick chat, I want to talk about Simone Biles and her husband, Mr. Jonathan Owens, for just a brief second because I see that a lot of people are in uproar about it. They don't really like some of the things he had to say in a recent interview that he did with the Pivot. So I just wanted to, add my little 2 cents. So, girl, I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all know it's probably going to be a very unpopular opinion. So I'll let you guys leave your opinions down below in the comment section, okay? Because y'all gonna do that anyway, because that's just how y'all is, all right? Now, Jonathan Owens, from my understanding, he is an NFL player, and I do believe that he is a safety. Let me see exactly which team he plays for. I thought he was playing for like the Green Bay Packers, but I'm not sure. Well, it looks like he is. He is a player for the Green Bay Packers. Okay. I believe at one point he played for the Texans or whatnot, which may be the area in which he met Miss Simone Biles, okay? It's so funny because when I hear Simone Biles, I be wanting to say B Simone, and it's so funny because she's giving Simone B, which is hilarious. But anyway, girl, so he did an interview with the Pivot, and I've watched their podcast a few times where they interview a lot of different, athletes and stuff, right? I did get a chance to check out when they interviewed Travis Rudolph, and a lot of you guys may or may not be familiar with him. He was a football player that ended up getting set up by his girlfriend. They had an argument. She sent some guys as well as her brother to his door. He ended up clapping one of those guys, unfortunately. And it was this long, big, drawn out trial where he was found not guilty by the grace of God because Miss Ma'am was on some other stuff. So they recently did an interview with him, and I was able to sit down and, watch that interview and check it out. And now the next interview I see that's pretty much going viral is this Jonathan Owens interview. And during this interview, I got a chance to actually watch the whole interview because there was a clip that was going viral. And I'm going to play that clip for you guys. But I watched the interview, and Jonathan seems like he's a really nice guy. Like, we don't really know this man, in all honesty. And I damn sure don't know Simone Biles or the dynamics of their relationship for real, for real. But the vibe that he was giving off seemed like he may be a very humbled, laid back, cool type of guy. But again, keep in mind, girl, we don't really know this man like that for real, for real. And during this particular interview, he talked about, his journey to get to being, in the NFL or whatnot. I believe he ended up going undrafted. He was not drafted or whatnot. But I think those are some amazing stories to me when men are able to get their opportunity, make a name for themselves in some, fashion in the NFL industry and not be one of those main individuals that was drafted. Okay, because everybody makes this big deal about the guys that are drafted, and it's like, oh, it's this big thing, and da da da. And I'm not saying that it shouldn't be, but I also think it's very inspiring to see those young men that go undrafted because they're so dedicated, they stay focused, and at some point they get what it is their heart desires. That doesn't happen for everybody, but it does happen for some. So I think that's dope. He also talked about how his stepdad was there for him since the age of 4, how he helped raise him with his mom. His mom has like a she's disabled. She has some type of condition to where I think she struggles to walk. Don't quote me, but she has some type of disability where I think she does struggle to walk. I feel like he said something about her blood or whatnot, but she is a disabled woman. So when he got like older, I think more so in either middle school or high school, his stepdad ended up being murdered. And his stepdad would pretty much be there with his mom every step of the way, especially dealing with her condition and stuff, and also be there to support him as well. So that's who he looked to. And knowing that his stepdad was no longer there, he was seeing how everything was going to have to fall back on his mom and stuff. So he was always more so like worried about her and concerned about her and wanted to make sure that she's good. So what he did was he positioned himself in high school, I believe, to where he ended up getting a full scholarship once he got to college because he didn't want that to have to fall on his mama. So he ended up getting a full scholarship and things like that. And that's how he kind of like navigated his way through college or whatever. So I thought that was dope. And even after coming out of college, because I feel like the college he went to wasn't like this major, well-known college where people would typically go to draft, young men anyway. So he kind of talked about his journey of, being in the, NFL and getting there and all of that, and how he constantly would practice and stuff like that, and, just stay focused and stay dedicated. So he kind of touched on that. And then one of the men, of course, asked him about, okay, listen, I know we're talking about football and we're going to get more into that because I want to talk about that. But the main thing I want to know is how the hell did you bag Simone Biles? And he's like, how the hell I bagged her? She really, you know what I'm saying, bag me. And to me, the way that he said it kind of sounded like he knows he's not on her level in a sense. and he's surprised that she would even be interested in a guy like him. Like, that's the vibe that I got from it. And everybody perceives things very differently. And for that very reason, I'm going to go ahead and put it up on the screen so that we can all check it out together and just see exactly what it is this young man had to say. Okay. And I'm going to let y'all digest it for yourselves. But before we actually get into the video, I want to read the caption, because this video, it was a short clip that went very viral. Okay. So much so that this man you see here, whose name is RC, RC, I think that's what they call him, RC Clark. So he had to come to the frame. He kind of, put a caption underneath here, and he wanted to put up a longer video. But let me get into the caption and then we'll get into the video. So he says, we're just going to leave this here. If you care enough to look at the headlines and comment off that, hopefully you'll care enough to see the full conversation. A playful banter and one with a lot of positive vibes, laughs, and love. Sheesh. All couples have that story of how they met. Jay Owens and Simone Biles fell for one another off of their connection and conversation. Isn't it a good thing it wasn't off of who one another are and accomplished? Okay. He goes on to say, as Channing always say, we love, and we had such a good time getting to know these two as individuals, and their story of how relying on one another to get through hard times really left an impact on us. Always going to be rooting for this young couple. Okay. So that's pretty much what he had to say. I do feel like RC Clark, I will say this, RC, during this interview, you definitely was putting things in a position to where, in my opinion, to where the fans would likely end up dragging this man based on some of the stuff that you were saying in the interview or whatnot. But I know you were kind of joking, but people can take it, sideways or whatever, which is what they did because that's how they perceived it. So let's go ahead and refresh. Let me shut up and let us just check out what was said.
Every step of the way. Like the moment.
Honestly, don't get into no long shit, bro. I gotta ask you, man. God damn, y'all boys.
I have to pause right here, girl. I'm so glad he said don't get into no long shit, because one thing RC does when he interviews, and it irritates me just a little bit, he likes to ask a question, and I kind of don't like when people do this. Maybe it's their way of trying to get you to fully understand what the question is, okay? So he likes to ask a question, and he continues to drag it out before getting to, like, he'll say, so what are your thoughts about this? Because blah, 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 and yada, 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 and da, da, da. And it's like, you gonna let him ask the question or what? Okay. Some of y'all probably sitting around like, Jamie, you gonna play the video or you gonna do what RC do it and keep talking? Girl, let me shut the hell up. Anyway.
Scared. Bro, as us pretty red dimes as we are, how in the hell did you pull Simone Biles? And I love this football talk, bro. I gotta get to it. I'm over here rubbing my knees.
Hey, Chad, I wanted to tell him, he's talking about being looked over. Now, when the right people look at you.
Yeah, that's
you know what I'm saying?
How did you do that, bro?
Man, it's really how she pulled me, man. That's the question.
Oh,
man.
Lord Jesus. Now you with Freddie. Now it's back. now you
listen, I'm gonna tell you, organic story, man. So I just got to Houston. I probably have been to Houston 7 months. I was single at the time, so I'm just living, being me and myself. And COVID had just hit, but I had just went to Arizona, and one of my boys are like, hey man, you gotta check out this app, and I'm like, nah, I'll check it out. Like, what is it? It was called Raya at the time. So basically it's like a dating app, but you have to go through certain like criteria to make sure that you're who you are. So literally have been on the app for a couple of days, man. And it's like, she pops up and I'm like, let me see who this is. Gymnastics. I ain't never, I never really paid attention to gymnastics. So it piqued my curiosity, so I'm like, okay, I'll see what's up. I swiped her and it said we matched. So I'm just like, oh, okay, so I'm gonna see what's up. So I go do my workout and I come back and I get like, I had some likes on my Instagram, and I'm like, oh, this might be. I'm like, okay. So I see what's up. And then I still waited. I'm like, man, I'm gonna wait till I, take a shower and everything. Then I come back to my phone and then she messages me on the app like, hey, you know what I mean? And I'm, man, this gotta be fake. Like, I don't know. I didn't know who she was at the time, but like the first thing that I saw was that she just had a bunch of followers. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, she gotta be good. I promise you, I'm a real life story. When she won the Olympics, I was in college and we didn't have NBC, we didn't have Olympic channels, and we're in camp. Late July, early August. So I'm not paying attention to, so I never would have had a moment to where I would have watched like, Jonathan,
I'm gonna let you finish your story, man. Continue.
But like I was saying, man, she messaged me. This was like a Tuesday. And we texting back and forth, and then we hung out Friday, man. And we couldn't do much as COVID happened, everything was shut down. So she came through down to Houston. She lived in the suburbs, so she had to drive about 45 minutes to me. Then the rest is history, man. So
you was really the catch in.
I always say the men the catch, man. I always say we the catch, man.
Yeah, so she really booked you.
She did though.
Is what you said.
Because I was fighting it.
So in truth, if I say this out loud, was Jonathan Owens ain't really want Simone Biles. Is what you're saying.
At the time,
that's what
I'm not gonna say that.
That's what you're saying.
I was afraid. I was afraid to commit. I'm like, man, this is my 3rd year. You know, I'm trying to, I'm like, it's kind of early. But, you know, like I said, man, it happened when you least expect it. And we hung out, man. It was like we hit it off instantly. You know, we just laughed the whole night.
All right, so you guys just pretty much heard everything that this young man had to say when it came down to their relationship. And I just feel like y'all can go listen to the full video to like really hear more of what he had to say about the dynamics of their relationship and stuff. But like for me, first of all, when he talks about like no NBC, they didn't have no Olympic channels or anything like that, I do find that hard to believe when it comes to college. It's like, I don't know, but being that you were an athlete, maybe they limited some things that y'all could watch because they needed y'all to be focused. Now, I do find that hard to believe when he's like, he wasn't really on the Olympics like that. He wasn't really that familiar for real with gymnastics. Like, I think he knew about it, but like to get in the vein, into the grain and the weed of it, knowing who's who. If he didn't know, I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't. You know what I'm saying? Because there are plenty of Olympians that I don't know these fucking people. There are even just regular people in different sports that I do not damn know. I'll be very honest. If Sierra was not married to Russell Wilson, I would not know who the fuck Russell Wilson is. I'm not gonna hold y'all, but she is married to him, so now I know. You know what I'm saying? Like who the hell he is. There's probably some other people in the NFL that's doing an amazing job. I just don't know who the fuck they are. Yeah, I'm familiar with football, but I'm not familiar with who won what, who's doing what. I can't even tell you who the hell played. And if the USA versus whoever, you know how they have like the basketball games where the USA may verse somebody else, and I guess that's the Olympics as well. I can't tell you who the hell all played in that. I really cannot. I can tell you that. I mean, I'm kind of familiar with it, but I don't know a whole lot about it. So that's why I can relate to what he's saying. I think it's very possible that he didn't know who she was. Everybody's trying to force this man to know who she was because y'all knew who she was. And that's just not always the case. Like when you're on like in college, you playing football, a lot of people just focus on that, you know what I'm saying, being the best that they can be at that sport. You know what I'm saying, then he a young man, you know, at that young age out here probably doing whatever else that he doing, that I don't think he was that zoned in to really know exactly who she was. I also believe that a lot of people about get her and Gabby Douglas mixed up sometimes, to be honest, you know. So I wasn't faulting him on that. When he talked about, you know, the men being the catch, you know, I wasn't offended by him saying that. I don't understand why a lot of women are like, I mean, it's like I be confused sometimes about what people want. Do y'all want people in happy relationships or do y'all not want them in happy relationships? And then this is what also be killing me. A lot of y'all don't be having healthy situations y'all damn self for what y'all got going on. You know what I'm saying? For him to feel like he's the catch or he the prize or whatever the case is, that doesn't mean that she doesn't feel the same way. Some of y'all couldn't even get caught or even get a prize for Christmas, but y'all sitting over here worried about him being a catch for his wife or whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can't even get men to commit to a relationship with y'all, yet this man is over here married to this young lady. And I'm not really trying to SHI on people because everybody has their timing when they find love. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, come on, y'all. What do y'all want from people? Now, I feel like him saying that he's the catch, I feel like that sounds about right. And I also feel like she's the catch too. I think that, you know, you guys should be the prize. You should be the catch for each other. But him saying that he always think that men are the catch is because a lot of y'all, let's be honest, women do put these niggas on pedestals to make them feel like they are the catch. Y'all do run after them and pursue them more than they do pursue you, especially when a man tell you he ain't trying to be in a relationship and you just still over there doing girlfriend type shit, hoping that eventually he changes his mind and you can convince him to get to a place where Simone and Jonathan are today. and it doesn't always work out. So yes, to some of these, like some of these men do be the catch because you hoes put them up there on that level to be the catch. Y'all don't see that y'all are enough of a catch your damn self to have your own standards to how you're going to move. But also when he was talking about how she bagged him, I felt like he was more so hyping her up. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, like she the one that's the Olympian. You know what I'm saying? She the one doing big things, and she wanted to be with me. She kind of bagged me. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't even expecting her to be as interested in me as she was. Like, that's kind of how I took it. You know what I'm saying? Him talking about him fighting like like he was fighting the relationship in the beginning because he was like in his third year in the NFL. Basically, he wanted to hold around. He did not want to commit. And I didn't like how RC tried to make it seem like, oh, so you weren't even interested in Simone Biles. And I'm like, it wasn't, to me, it wasn't that it was about her. It was just him not being ready in general. So it wouldn't have mattered what woman it was at the time. He just wasn't there. But what I wish they would have done, I wish they would have got more into what made him choose her ultimately. Because to be a man that's in your third year and you're not ready to commit, what was it about her that got you to a place of commitment, so much so that you got down on one knee and you proposed to this woman? You went from not being committed, you know what I'm saying, to soon as you met her, y'all got to know each other, y'all hung out, y'all just clicked. And some relationships genuinely happen like that. They just clicked and they just hung out all the damn time. And next thing you know, they engaged. So what was it about her? And I feel like I wish they would have followed up with that question, since y'all want to be all in their business. I wish that they would have done that so people could get, additional context and, learn more about their particular relationship. But I wasn't as pressed or bothered as people are out here trying to be. It's like that lady, she a newlywed still. She happy as hell. She ain't done none of that shit y'all talking about, unfortunately. And if the relationship doesn't work out years later, so what? I mean, like a lot of relationships don't, you know what I'm saying, work out. I mean, that's just what happens. People get married years down the line, they go in different directions or whatever the case. People have been clowning her, saying that she ain't been reading the room. Has she been reading the room, she would know these are the red flags when y'all don't work out and this and that. And it's like, I don't know, I just can't get with it. I'm like, let that girl go on and be happy. I don't think that man was saying anything to disrespect her. She was in the room with him when he was doing the damn interview. And if he said something that was inaccurate or whatever, she would jump in and she would say something. So, I mean, I feel like he was telling the truth. People made it seem like it's such a bad thing for a woman to pursue a man. Like, if that's what she want to do, let her do it. If that's what, you know what I'm saying? I don't think I don't know. I just felt like people was overhyping the situation. Let me get into some of the comments of what people had to say when it came down to it. Okay. So someone says, from the clips I seen, I didn't think he was making himself seem like the catch. I got more of him trying to make a point that he didn't like her for her accolades, but I don't know. Okay. She says, they're a beautiful young Black couple and we should all just wish them a healthy marriage. Okay. So congratulations and good luck to them, because here's the thing: if he did know who she was or whatever the case was, and he hyped her up to be the catch or whatever it is, y'all would have been up there like, oh, the man just want her for her money. He just want her for her money. Like, y'all would have been, or it's her status and this and that. Like, y'all was gonna find something wrong, because I feel like we're in this toxic place where people love to take sections or short clips of people's interviews and dissect them and use that as a way to pretty much dissect the person's whole relationship. We don't know these fucking people. We really don't. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't know. I just didn't like how people was kind of trying to come off at them. And it's like, girl, y'all out here dealing with niggas that do y'all worse. And then there was a comment. Let me get to that one. This comment here that was on the Neighborhood Talk. Okay. They got this from Twitter. The person says, mind you, he went undrafted, was waived by 2 teams, hasn't won a single championship, and is all around a below average player. So what in his mind would make him think he's the catch? First of all, for you to think that him considering himself a catch has to be tied to I guess his accolades or the things that he has, the different possessions, the things he acquired. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's crazy. Maybe it's just how he is as a person. Maybe it's his heart. Maybe it's how he carries himself. Same thing with women, why they would think that they're the prize or they're the catch for any man. You know what I'm saying? So for you to reduce it down to that and then try to clown him and say, oh, he's undrafted, he was waived by 2 teams, this and that. Yeah, he may not have won a championship or anything, but guess what? That man went after his dreams of what he wanted and he got it. So what are you working on? What are you doing? What are you going towards that you're obtaining and that you're getting out of your life while you're here on this earth? That's just what I'm wondering. Like, I'm not understanding. And let's be very honest. Y'all want to talk about a catch and a damn prize. To a lot of women that ain't really talking about shit, to be honest, this man is a prize to them. Hate to say it, feel how you want to feel. Because all they see is a man that's in the NFL that got $1 million contract or however many million. To me, that ain't a whole lot. But to some women, that is just having the NFL status. To them, he is a damn catch. He is a prize. And they're going to sit up there and position him that way without considering their own standards or whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, girl, y'all do. That man saying the same. That man is saying the shit that y'all showing, in all honesty. He's saying the very shit that y'all be out here showing that they really is the prize. Hello? But I mean, it seemed like they was the prize for each other ultimately. I'm wondering if when he got on that app, if he was entertaining any other women. Did you stop? Like, at what point did you know, like, okay, I'm rocking out with her. I'm just gonna get to know her, and we just gonna ride out. Like, I don't know. I just have questions that I wanted to have answered, but it don't matter because at the end of the day, he proposed to her. Because y'all also be quick to drag people. Now, see how he said this, and they've been in a relationship for 3 years and ain't got no ring. They weren't married. Y'all would sit up there and drag her for that. Try and drag, well, he ain't even made no commitment to you. He said he the prize and you to finally got him, and he ain't proposed to you. He ain't do this, Okay, they married though. So I just feel like we complaining about the wrong things, and I just have questions that need answers. At what point did you go from a man that wasn't ready to commit, especially a man as a catch, because you positioned yourself as such? Because that's what a lot of men do. They position themselves as a catch because they're not ready to commit. They're not ready to lock them. They're not ready to be locked down. Okay. So that's also some of the reasons why I think men think they the catch. But ultimately, my question is, what was it about her that made you finally want to, settle down? But anywho, let's go to the next one. So there was another question where a woman says, or a statement where a woman says, if a man loves you for real and wants to protect you, especially when y'all are in the public eye, he'll keep the story simple. He could have simply said they met on a dating app and they hit it off from there. No, he could not simply say that if they would have pried and asked more questions. That's what I'm not understanding. And you wanted him to just keep it simple. If he would have kept it simple, they were going to pull more out of him. Like, y'all are not making sense. Then she goes on to say there was no need for him to say it was her who messaged him first. What is wrong with saying that? It's so many women out here that have messaged men first, and it hasn't gone anywhere. Let's be honest. So many women have walked up to men, and men have declined them in their damn face. So I'm confused on what the issue is. I'm like, what do y'all be wanting, girl? This is why I'm lost. Okay. Then she goes on to say, then messaged him on IG, then chased him, etc. But if she likes it, I love it. You ain't got no choice but to love it because it's her relationship. It ain't yours. That's what I'm confused about. I don't know. Y'all gonna have to let me know. I'm interested to reading like some of the comments and what you guys have to say, because I know it's gonna be a lot of people that's gonna be like, no, he was wrong. He came off like this. He came off like that. And I'm like, did he? Make sure when you give your commentary, or your comments, make sure that it's coming from you saw the whole video, and then, you know what I'm saying, this is why you feel that way. I watched the whole video and I still feel like he came off as okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? And we just digest stuff differently, in my opinion. Let's keep going. Somebody else says, for the one saying black women are mad at him for saying the truth, it's not that we're mad at him for stating the truth. It's the way it's coming across that's giving ick vibes. Like, his demeanor came across like he wasn't attracted to her. That's not how they came across at all. If y'all listen to what the man said, it came across like he wasn't really trying to be committed to nobody. That's how it came across. How did it come across that he wasn't really attracted to her when all he had to do if he's on an app is swipe past her ass? I've been on the app. Okay. I actually met my fiance on the app. Like, girl, if I weren't interested, I would have swiped past her. Like, what the hell is you talking about? Swipe past? Like, where? I'm confused. Girl, y'all, I don't know. It's giving ick vibes. No, what's giving ick vibes is y'all don't have the full context of a person's relationship. Okay. And then didn't even watch the interview and want to dissect it and break it down. Anywho, Goes on and says like his demeanor came across like he wasn't attracted to her, and he gave her a chance because she approached first, like she was thirsty. Nah, that's not what that seemed like. I think he just was not rushing to hit her up, because a lot of guys do that. They don't want to be coming off like they're the ones that's like too thirsty. And believe it or not, just as much as we want dudes to like approach us, they be wanting the same thing. Because I mean, nobody out here really likes rejection, for real, for real. So the fact that she gave him multiple signs to let him know that, like, okay, I'm feeling you. It's like, okay, bet, okay, cool, like, all right, cool. I ain't finna get rejected. Okay, cool. Let's see what happens. So I don't think he did anything wrong here. In my personal, I really don't. I'm gonna let y'all leave y'all thoughts. But before we go, I do want to bring up the fact that people, one thing y'all gonna do, y'all are going to resurface old y'all are going to resurface old tweets. Old tweets, y'all are going to resurface. And this tweet is from like 2012. So if this young man is 28 years old now, so let me do the calculations on that. Okay. So that was roughly about 11 years ago. So 28, that young man was about 17 years old. So y'all really finna pull on him being 17 years old and relate it all the way back to him being 28 years old, over a decade ago. So they're saying this is where he pretty much is talking about gymnastics and stuff, right? So they're like, he's lying for him to say that he's not really on gymnastics and he don't know a lot about that. He lying. He gotta know. So he had to know who she was. Not necessarily. I used to be on the Celtics a lot. Like the Celtics used to be like my team, especially when they beat the shit out of the Lakers, because I was not a fan of Kobe. And this was like back in 2010 or whatever. I think it was, or it was like 2007, 8, somewhere up in there. It was a while ago. And I was so glad they beat the hell out of the Lakers finally. And I was just happy. And I remember the players on the team. I really can vaguely remember them now. But if you go back and you ask me about who plays for the Celtics now, bitch, I can't tell you who to play for the Celtics. I can't. I don't know. Okay, so I mean, I don't understand how y'all gonna try and force this man to know who she was. And then a lot of the comments that y'all gave, some people were trying to say that, oh girl, he think he look better than you, Simone. So you need to make note of that. No, bitch, you think he looks better than her. That's what you think. Y'all be out here dragging these gymnasts, girl. Y'all dragged the fuck out of Gabby Douglas. Y'all have dragged Simone Biles for her look, trying to say that she looks like a man. Y'all have done a lot. Okay. And then trying to put it off on this man. Like, girl, I can't. I cannot. So I just disagree with it. I feel like you can be familiar with the sport, but not really be familiar with the players. Does that make sense? So to me, that's just how I feel about that. But I'm gonna let you guys go ahead and hop down in the comments, girl. And I'm gonna let y'all leave y'all thoughts down below. I feel like there's so much more I could say about this, because I've talked about this story with like friends or whatever like that, and I've had so much to say. But girl, at this point, it is what it is. All right, I'm gonna let you guys leave your thoughts and comments down below, honey. I am Jamie. That's me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos, or follow me on Instagram and Twitter at JamiThatsMe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.